Welcome to the CookUp. Today we have a wonderful show lined up for you, and we will be serving up copious conversation on at least one of our 5 ICH Intangible Cultural Heritage domains. And today, of course, we have a special guest with us. My name is Alicia Daniel Blake. I am the Research and Communications Officer at the Department of Sports and Creative Economy. So welcome. Today in ICH, we focus on 2 domains, specifically performing arts and oral traditions. Our assistant chef in the CookUp kitchen today is none other than Jason McClean Payne. Welcome, Mr. Payne.
Bless you.
Okay. And in the calypso arena, he is well known as King Pharaoh. So welcome again, King Pharaoh. Welcome to the CookUp kitchen.
Thank you much.
Now, to begin with, we are going to look at a recent-ish performance that you did, and it was at the Seniors Prom organized by the Department of Social Development. And let's have a look at that, please.
You must sing of the goodness of God, and I'll tell you why. All your life He has been faithful. All your life He has been so good. And every breath that you have able, you ought to sing to the glory of God. You ought to serve to the glory of God. Oh, you must sing.
Wow, Mr. Payne, that was from an activity organized by the Department of Aging and Disabilities. I do stand corrected. Now, you weren't just performing with your voice, you were performing with your whole body, and you got quite a bit of favorable response. Now, is this how you always perform? Because we know way back when, as King Pharaoh, you also performed. Do you perform with your whole being?
Of course I do. I put everything that I have into my performance. And I think that is one of the things that's lacking with a whole lot of the Calypsonians today. They do not speak with their body as well as the words from their mouth.
Okay, so do you think this is part of what gets your audience involved? Because I realize one of the other seniors at the back, she was lifting praise. Do you communicate with your audience?
That's what I'm there for, to demand their attention so that they can listen to everything that I have to say.
Okay.
You understand? And to be part of it.
Yes, so you play off of your audience and your audience plays off of you. Wonderful. You create an energy in the room.
Right.
Lovely. So now, in the CookUp connoisseurs, there's a job that we have for you. A very important job, because we searched high and low for a video of Mr. Payne performing as King Pharaoh. So he began performing back in the 60s, am I correct?
Of course.
And then there may have been a Legends show further along there. If you can put your hands on that video, send it to us on one of our social media platforms, and we shall share it with all the other CookUp connoisseurs. And our platforms are Facebook, SKN ICH, or ICH SKN, on YouTube, St. Kitts Culture, and on Twitter or X, St. Kitts Culture as well. So, Mr. Payne, what we just saw was the Seniors Prom organized by the Department of Aging and Disabilities. And you were also crowned prom king. Of
course.
On that occasion.
All right.
That's lovely. Do you think it was your outfit or your singing that made them pick you or choose you?
My performance.
But I also think you are always well dressed as well.
from a small boy.
Oh, okay.
Because I was blessed with the opportunity to have much relatives in the United States where they would send us down our garments. So in my youthful days, in my 20s or so, I was known as one of the most well-dressed young men going around town. So I still keep it up.
There you go. And that's one of our cultural things as well. Many of our relatives who traveled for work, they would make sure they sent back that barrel.
Right.
Usually at Christmas time. There you go. All right. So yes, you sang a gospel. Do you still compose calypso?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Not as often as I used to do, however. But I'm doing a little thing. Just Connors, at the Baptist Church.
Yes.
This year they celebrated the 61 or the 61st anniversary, and they was asking a few of us to do some writing and come and sing. But for some reason which I do not know, they push it back. But I was prepared, you know. I was prepared, and I will give you a little tip of it a little later.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
Okay.
We certainly will look forward to that. Who were your calypso role models?
I came up in the days of Kitchener, Melody, and Pharaoh. They were Pharaoh was my top boy. But what triggers me most was the bacchanal between Kitchener and Melody. They always had a bacchanal, and I enjoyed it. And so when Pharaoh spit out a song, as soon as he spit it out, I got it. And I always loved singing. So I'll be singing everywhere I go. And people will hear me, and they will always talk about this melodious voice, which does not appeal so to me. And a particular young lady who I was dating, she said, you need to go into competition. And she was behind me for a long time before I did make up my mind. And then I used to go around with a young man from Sandy Point, because that's where I was born, called Grayson. He's a guitarist. So we go from bar, shop to shop, and he is drinking, but I won't. I've never been an alcoholic drinker. And so he will be playing his guitar, and I will be singing.
Okay.
You know?
All right, lovely. Good to go back down memory lane.
Yeah.
So where do you get your inspiration for your calypsos or your composing?
Again, back from those three guys that I mentioned up top, Pharaoh, Kitchener, Melody, you know.
So do you think about what you want to write? Do you look at persons in the community or things that are happening or politics to write your songs?
Oh, you look at a whole lot of different stuff. You look at the behavior of people. You look at, you listen to the politicians and the lies that they tell people in which to get in, you know. And you look at the employers that employ people and how they're abusing them by underpaying them and these kind of things. And you just put them together.
All
you know,
right.
and tell the
Lovely.
story.
So would you say that's social commentary?
Of course it is.
Okay. Lovely. So Mr. Payne, this has been a wonderful segment, but guess what? We have to take a short break. Cook Up connoisseurs, don't you go anywhere. When we come back, we have a musical treat waiting for you. So we'll be right back.
Check on your battery. Check. Emergency center. Check. Store up your water. Check. And board up your window. Check. So you got to place it before it is too late. Check. Disaster could happen anytime, any place. Check on your elders. Check. And your insurance. Check. Secure the animals. Check. Tie down the gas tank. Check. Don't intoxicate. You got to play it safe. Disaster could happen anytime, any place.
For more information, contact your National Emergency Center today. Before the storm, stock up on perishable foods to last at least 24 hours. Secure important documents. full up on gasoline. Remove boats and fishing pots from the water. During the storm, unplug electrical appliances. Do not go outside. Listen to your radio station. After the storm, do not go sightseeing. Make sure the entire family is okay and assess and photograph all damages.
Check on your batteries. Emergency center. Store up your water. And board up your window. So you got to place it before it is too late. Disaster could happen anytime, any place.
Welcome back, CookUp connoisseurs. As promised, we have a treat. Now, Mr. Payne, when did you become King Pharaoh? When did you win the calypso competition?
1965 was my first time into a competition. That was over in Nevis, where I was beaten by a young man called King Marcus. But the same year, you had a calypso king runoff, where I defeated him. Okay? And at that time, though, I used to go by the name of Lord Kitty.
Lord Kitty for Kittition?
Right.
Okay.
And then after I came back home to St. Kitts, I can hardly tell you the reason why I pick up the name King Pharaoh. Okay? But I heard the name, not never knowing much about it, and I pick it up. And so I started singing in tents. And in those days you had calypso shows every Sunday evening at the old cinema.
Okay.
You had people like Baki, Pat Tubble, and those guys. And so I decided to go into competition. And it is so strange, probably I went to sleep with it a little too much on my mind, and so I dreamt part of a song. And I got up, I put the words down, and then I went back to it later, and I had it completed. I also, in my dream, I saw myself on stage.
Okay.
And I think that is what pushes me most, because I saw myself on stage and I saw myself winning. So that pushes me to complete the song, go into the competition, and I won. And this is the song.
All right.
The rich and poor, the big and small, unity is needed that goes to one and all. Progress and industry will only improve our faith, but cooperation is what will rebuild our state. So let us forget the past and work in harmony, and you will find the meaning of true democracy. St. Kitts economy, it belongs to everybody. Whether you're a Palmite or member of the Labour Party, just jump in the van and forget your party policy, and you will find the meaning of true democracy.
Yay! That is what I'm talking about. So that is the traditional calypso.
Of course, of course.
Lovely. And what year was that you said you won?
1969.
Lovely. Now, are there other types of calypso rhythms from that type period, or this was the traditional rhythm?
Traditional.
Traditional one from that other time. Okay. How has calypso changed over the years, including the fact that we now have a female calypso monarch?
Oh, well, the female have been having a terrible time in which to reach to that point. because of the fact that you had very great calypsonians in my time, people like Sweeney. But let me go a little further back. People like Entertainer, Baki, they were hard to beat. You had Mallet and all these guys come right up the line until Elimat came in later. And as they come along, the standard get higher and much harder.
Okay.
So the females, they had a tough time in getting there. Today, well, I understand they are trampling the men like nothing. But it wasn't easy. For instance, we had people like Jackie, and Jackie was good, but Jackie got a lot of knockabout.
Mm-hmm. So she was a trailblazer that
Yes,
paved the way for the others.
Of course.
Nice. Okay. So now, is soca a loving cousin or a stepchild of traditional calypso? Because we know it's different.
I will go along with the stepchild because it's only a beat, a change of beat. That's all the soca is. Wording's no difference, but the beat is different.
Okay. Would you? Some would say that it would also, the wording would become more lewd, more less double entendre. What would you say to that?
I will go along with that.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah.
So it's. Would you say then it's what the audience wants,
Right.
what the crowd? So there.
Right.
Okay.
Because that's most writers write today depends upon what the audience is looking for. In my day, for me, I can only speak for me.
Yes.
When I do write, I think more educationally how to give it proper instructions for people. Like, for instance, I remember doing a song called Black Pride. Who are you? From whence you came? Who went along and changed your name? Who banned tribal dances and African ritual? Yes, it was massa, powerful and brutal. But press on. So you encourage your people to make the proper and correct step in life. You understand?
Yes.
But today I find that there's a lot of songs that are put together by some person or persons who really not thinking. You understand?
So I'm going to dig a little deeper. We can't help but reflect on the fact that our society has some issues, especially with crime and violence. You mentioned that in your time, the songs were more upbuilding. Now the songs are more literally. Soca has a tendency towards derogatory, particularly to women. Would you say that calypso / soca can play a role in uplifting
Of course.
our society
Of course.
and removing some of these negative traits?
Sure, right, it can. You understand? Because young people have a tendency, for matter of fact, they have their favorite star. And they are going to listen to that person as to what they have to say to them. And they will follow. You understand? As I was saying, I find too much derogatory songs are sing today.
Yes, you mentioned that previous conversation.
You know, particular against women.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
All right. Now, Mr. Payne, we are just warming up, you know. We have another segment to go. So, CookUp connoisseurs, after that lovely entertainment from Mr. Payne, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back with more.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Welcome to the Sinkers Craft House. This is where life begins, and what we create will leave you speechless. We train, we create, we promote, and we maintain the highest standards. Experience life for yourself. The premier craft and production facility in St. Kitts and Nevis.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
Welcome back, CookUp connoisseurs. We are having a very entertaining and informative discussion with Mr. Payne, also known as King Pharaoh. Mr. Payne, now you have a wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. Have you ever trained anyone in the calypso art form? And if not, would you be willing to volunteer your services?
Well, I have not trained any person. Most people who will speak to me will ask me like to write.
Okay.
Okay? Nobody want to know, well, how to catch their own fish. Okay? But I don't have a problem of assisting anyone. I really don't have a problem. I do most of my writing in St. Martin.
Oh.
Right now I have something going which for someone in St. Martin, which I may even give you a bar or two of it too. But that is it.
Okay.
Thus far.
So you do more composing for others?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Is there something, in your opinion, that you think can be done to assist with the survival of the traditional calypso?
Sure. In St. Kitts, we have a great number of good writers, very, very good writers. People like Fonzie, Mark the First, Controller, Stash. Well, okay, Thatcher is a good writer, but we keep him out of it for now because of his situation. Socrates and those guys, I think you take them and show them someplace in some building, have them teaching the youngsters.
That sounds like a school of calypso to me.
Of course, because these guys are good writers. You know, the only problem, the only problem that they have with me is on the stage. Those guys are better writers than me. But they have a problem with me when I get on the stage.
Okay, that performance and getting the crowd participation.
Right.
Okay then. And what advice do you have for a young person, male or female, interested in composing, maybe competing in one of the calypso shows?
Well, first of all, they have to learn how to present their song to the people. You can. For instance, you find some people go up on the stage and they have a jumpy song, but they're right here.
Oh, okay. They don't get up and perform.
No.
Or use the stage.
Use the stage. Go all to the edge, the very edge of the stage, right here. You understand? Yeah, some people over there think you're going to fall off, but you train yourself. And that's what I used to do. And one of the things that I do notice too is that a lot of the young calypsonians, you can't give them any advice. They seem to think that the elders doesn't have anything to tell them or to teach them.
So you are here to show them different. There you go, Mr. Payne. Now, Mr. Payne, with that thought, we are going to go into a section that we call CookUp Seasoning Mix, where I'm going to tell about what's happening in our creative economy.
All right.
The first part of the ICH Core Knowledge Camp takes place July 29th to August 2nd. Then there's a continuation the following vacation on this, well, after the Easter break. Then there'll be the December 9th to the 20th. That's December 9th to the 20th. So the first round of this camp takes place at the St. Johnson's Community Center from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. That's from July 29th to August 2nd. And we received quite a few application forms from the schools. And the young people will be learning all about the traditional performances that are at risk, that we certainly need to safeguard. So it's things like the mummies and the St. Peter's actors. So that's something that we have engaged or are about to engage our young people in. The pictures that you're looking at, they are from last year's Core Knowledge Camp. And then we also had a spectacular and successful, very participatory ICH validation consultation that took place on July 3rd. And we had a cross-section of persons from the different sectors of our island. We had government officials, we had NGOs, and we had persons from knowledge bearers, like Mr. Payne, the traditional knowledge bearers, and we all came together for a seasoning mix. And that is going towards the completion of the ICH policy to make sure we safeguard the aspects of the culture that are at risk. And then we also have the continuation of the community, the Creative Community Mural Project. And you would have seen several murals on walls around the island going up, and that is something that we are continuing because the artists are hard at work, and it's going to help to beautify our communities and also speak to our cultural heritage. So CookUp connoisseurs, those are the things that we have in store for you. Now, Mr. Payne, back to you. What, if anything, you would like to leave with our audience today?
Well, I will, before I get there, can I say something? Calypsonians is missing something, an ingredient that we had back then, and that is the ability to draw the crowd out in big numbers. What we used to do then, when it was people like Barkey, Bartowell, myself, we will have those shows that I told you about in the cinema. We have them very often. And at the end of every show, we will have what you call extemporanean. Calypsonians, the Calypsonians singing on each other. And the people love that. So we leave them wanting more. So you know the next show, they're coming out in great numbers.
Lovely.
And we used to do that so in which to have the carnival city loaded with people.
Lovely.
They need to go back there.
Okay. Mr. Payne, we had a lovely conversation and we spoke about the importance of preserving our performing arts aspect. And you also know that oral traditions is involved because it speaks to our culture, our community, what's happening there. But we have to go. And CookUp connoisseurs, listen, this was such an interesting show. We are going to have to do much more like this. So look out for us again. Check out social media platforms, Facebook, SKN ICH, ICH SKN, YouTube, St. Kitts Culture, Twitter or X, YouTube, St. Kitts Culture. Like and subscribe because this is what you'll be getting. So see you next time. Our next show is Living Heritage next Thursday. Bye.